So by the time we get up to the top of this backswing, we have a combination of things here that are just not helping us. We have hands that haven't worked that far around our body because they disconnected away from us early and then tried to get around us, but there wasn't enough time to get to its full potential. There is a lack of hip turn here. You change knee flexes really well, so there's obviously some extension of the right leg, some flexion of the left leg happening, but you're not actually rotating into your hips as much as you're changing knee flexes. So that too can create a little bit of an illusion, because when we see, you know, this window between the knees and we see obviously a lot of activity from both legs, we just assume that the legs are working really well, which they are, but they're not working in the rotary sense that well. Okay, and that's partially obviously why the hands disconnected away from the body to start the backswing. And because we pulled this club inside with a little bit of some forearm rotation and then we stand it up later, the arm structure just looks very narrow and the shaft is starting to work in an across the line direction. So it's coming from a direction that's flatter and then it's standing up and shifting towards a direction that would theoretically get it across the line if the backswing was long enough. Now, the thing is, your backswing is not necessarily that long, so it doesn't actually look like it ever gets there, but it's trending in that direction. The momentum of the weight of the club is carrying in this direction. So all of these things now create a situation where at the top of your backswing, it is going to be very difficult for us to ever get the club in a shallow enough position for your body to be able to control the low point, rotate through the ball, stay in your posture, and do all these good things that you see other players doing. Because the hands don't get around you enough, the arm structure is very narrow, we're not utilizing our hips as well, and then the club is going from flat to more upright late in the backswing, which is carrying some momentum. And so as we transition down, so as we start down, we don't have enough time to reroute this club because it was obviously trending on a steeper plane. And so in the early stages of your downswing, the shaft pitch is going to be mega upright. So way too steep, right? And this is as a result of more so the backswing than anything else. Of course, there's a hypothetical world in which you can leave the backswing alone and just learn to reroute the club coming down, but to me that serves more as a band-aid to mask the problems of how you're getting to the top of the backswing. The backswing could be a lot more efficient in my opinion. So yes, this visual you're seeing right now is a problem, but it's being created from the backswing. That's what's important to understand. So as soon as this club gets way too upright, there's just no room for you to rotate into the golf ball here. You have to understand everything has a price, right? The more our body stays in posture and rotates, what's the price of that? The price of that is the hand path is going to work more in front of us and the club is going to work steeper. So the more the body rotates, the more it wants to steepen the rest of the variables in your golf swing. It causes you to hit more down on the ball and more left, swing more left. And so if you are in this situation where the shaft is already this upright and you're going to try to stay in posture, you would imagine how steep you would get into the ball if you tried to rotate from here. You just don't have the tools to do so. And therefore, the chain reaction of events that are going to take place, and we see this very, very often with players who have a similar combination of movements that happen here, is in order to shallow this club out, your body has to give way. Meaning your pivot is going to compensate for the pitch of the shaft in the early stages of the downswing. But what you need to understand is the shaft is in that steep of a position because of how the backswing took place. It's a chain reaction of events where the backswing wasn't the most efficient, which hindered how the club moved at the top of the backswing, which bled into the transition, which caused the club to come down steeper. And then as a result of that, now the club is in such a steep position, right? The button of the club is pointing way too steep and inside this ball line here that there's just no real way for you to rotate. That opportunity doesn't exist anymore. Or it does, but it doesn't while allowing you to hit a successful shot. Let's put it that way. Obviously, you can do anything in the golf swing, but can you do it and hit a high-quality shot? That's the key. And so in order to try to fix the problem, which is the steepness of the shaft now and the narrowness of the arm structure and all those things we highlighted, your body has to give way. And so there is a direct correlation between how this club is going to get shallow coming down versus how much your head, your spine, your neck, everything is going to back out of the shot. Look at the placement of your head. Look at the placement of your spine. Okay, so I'll even highlight the spine through this yellow line here. So look at where the spine is currently placed. Look at the position of the head and look at the position of the shaft. And what you're going to see now is a very, very common reaction from players who are trying to fix an issue, a variable that's out of place, which in your case is the steepness of the club. This club is going to start to work shallower. It's going to start to pitch behind you, but it's happening at the cost of your pivot. So your spine is extending and the head is backing up and out of the shot. And so yes, hypothetically, or actually in reality, right? It's not even a hypothetical. This club has dropped inside the hands. You are striking the ball from the inside. But at what cost? Well, the cost is, look at how much your head is backed up. Look how much your spine has straightened, right? So to get the club into this position, you have had to stand up and stall the rotation of the body and throw the arms at the golf ball.